This is a Compass Rallye 550, just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker you've got your gas bottle and your gas pipe work going up to the bottle. This van is actually fitted with a changeover valve, so you can have two gas pipes connected and two gas bottles if you wish to. To change over the gas supply, you've very got to simply change around the gas valve here, so the arrow is pointing to the opposite bottle should you ever need to do that. Grey pipe work in the front locker is for the waste pipe coming out the side of the van. On the right hand side front of the van you've got your Aldi heating flue, which is essentially there to allow the heating unit to breathe, so don't ever cover that up as it does create a lot of heat. So as we're saying, Aldi heating flue, don't ever cover that up, and then underneath that you've got your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan. They are only there for stabilising the caravan. You'd never lift the caravan with the wind down legs. Then have your water pump connection that goes into the side of the van and drops down inside your acro roll. Your battery box, so your battery is in there, and then your mains power lead that comes into the side of the caravan. Also in there you've got your power switch for the motor mover itself, and that would only be used for the motor mover, which we'll demonstrate while you're here on site. On the side of the van you've got your fridge vents, so essentially they are there to allow hot air at the back of the fridge unit and take some cool air in. On the top one, just here, these for the top right hand side, you've got your gas flue for when you're running the fridge on gas. You've then got your motor mover and wheel nuts. The wheel nuts will be torqued while the caravan is here on site, so you can see they've been tightened correctly, and then we'll also demonstrate the motor mover while you're here. Two grey pipes coming out the side of the van where your wastewater comes out, so it goes, fresh water goes in the front and grey wastewater comes out the side of the van. Two bits of grey pipe push into the side of the van and then drop down inside the Wastemaster itself. At the back of the van you've got your two wind down legs again. Again, they are only there for stabilising the caravan, not lifting the caravan off the ground. So stabilising only. Once we're connected to the car, we'll check your lights and we'll make sure they're all talking to the car and the car is talking to the caravan. Coming down the door side of the caravan now, we've got your gas barbecue point, wind down leg, storage locker for underneath the front seating area, and then you've got your toilet locker at the rear of the van also. Very simple to use. Pull up the orange handle and pull the cassette towards you. The neck here turns out 90 degrees so you can tip the waste away. There's a grey cap here to measure your blue fluid. And on the back of the cassette you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. Before you use that cassette you'll need to put 1 litre of water in there and a cap full of the blue fluid. Going on to the inside of the caravan now. As you come in the door on the left hand side, so the first thing you need to do is turn on the main power switch for the caravan. You've then got your water pump run, which I'll come back to in a moment, the voltmeter for the battery on board the caravan, and then the button on the right hand side with the tank symbol here is to tell you how much water you've got in the onboard water tank. Above that you've got your controls for your lighting, and again above that you have your controls for your Aldi heating and hot water. I'll come back to that later on in the video. To fill the water system, you first of all need to make sure the water pump switch is off in the central position. You're going to have your water pump connected on the outside of the caravan, going into your acro roll. Then underneath the seat, on the far right hand side of the van, you're going to be looking for a yellow valve. Now that yellow valve is the drain down valve for the water system. So to operate that, you need to make sure it's parallel with the floor to fill the water system up, so the position it's in now, and upright towards the bottom of the seat to drain the water system down. So like I said, at the moment, with it being parallel with the floor, we can actually fill the water system up on board the caravan. At that point, what we'll do is go over to every tap on board the caravan, open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system. Now you actually notice I've already filled the system up, but you can open all the taps up on the hot side and then come over to the control panel by the door. At that point we're going to need to run from the external tank, so we're going to put the switch on to the external here at the bottom, and that will allow the water system to run from the acro roll on the outside of the caravan. Now when the water pressure is built up enough, you'll have water running continuously out of every tap on board the caravan. At that point, you can then shut all of the taps off so that the water system is full and sealed and ready to go. There is actually a second water tank on board this van, so you can run from the onboard water tank, or you can run straight from the aqua roll to the hot water tank. So the hot water tank is a bit like your boiler at home. However, underneath the bed at the rear of the caravan, you'll actually notice there's a 40-litre onboard water storage tank. Now, if you wanted to fill this tank, you'd do the same operation of filling it up, opening all the taps up on the hot side. However, instead of running the external water pump, which we just run a moment ago to fill the water system up, you'd actually go to the internal water pump. What at that point that will do is, it will actually start drawing water from the aqua roll on the outside of the caravan straight into the tank underneath the bed. The only problem with that is you have to continue to fill up that water system every time it drains down. So a lot of people don't actually run from that tank, they just run from the external aqua roll. And you'll see on here, oh, it's not built up enough water yet, but if I left that on, that'd essentially go to 100% on there to tell me the water tank is full. And in theory, it should cut out when that water tank is full. However, they don't always do that, so you also need to keep an eye on it just to be on the safe side. But like I said, if you want to run from the hot water tank, or just run from the hot water tank, you'll run external just here. And if you want to run the internal pump to fill the onboard water tank up, you'll need to put it on int at the top, which means internal. Whichever system you run from, you're just going to need to make sure the systems are full before you decide to warm up the water on board the van. So to warm the water on board the caravan, you're going to once this control panel's on, which is an on-off button in the bottom left-hand side, you're going to press the menu button, and then the second option down here, you will see water. So you've got water on and water boost to shower on board the caravan. So like I said, hot water on and hot water boost when you are showering. If you want to turn the heating on internally in the caravan, so the central heating, you've got plus or minus to set your room temperature or your heating temperature. This does go up to 30 degrees and it is a real 30 degrees, not you know, it says it's not one of them things that says 30 degrees and it's not, it actually is a real 30 degrees. The next one down here, the next symbol you see is to control the amount of power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. Now you've got 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatts or 3 kilowatts of power coming into the caravan available. Here on site we can only run 1 kilowatt of power coming into the van. So that's why I've got it set to the 1 kilowatt. If you need to know what power source you can run it from the site you're on, you would ask the site office when you arrive and they would be able to advise you of the power source to run your heating and hot water on. At the bottom here, if you're off grid, you've got the option to run gas. Now you need to make sure the gas is turned on in the front locker. You come over to the control panel, hit the gas option here at the bottom or the flame symbol, and that will essentially allow the gas system to kick in and that will control the heating and hot water on gas. If you are running on gas and it fails to ignite, it will actually come up with gas fail at the bottom of the screen with 2 exclamation marks at either end to let you know it has failed. If it is ever a case of it has failed to ignite, I advise you go to the hob, get the gas through on the hob because that is the last point on the gas system, then try to reignite the heating and hot water system on gas. That would also be the same if you tried to ignite the fridge on gas and it didn't ignite first time. So now we are going to go to the fridge, which is very simple to use. You've got power on and off on the left hand side. You do need to press and hold it to get the power to go on or off. You've got mains power on the left hand side here. So if you connect it to mains, you'll use that as a power source. And then you control the temperature of the fridge on the button on the right hand side. Gas, again, if you've got the gas turned on and connected, you could use the gas to power the fridge if you're off grid, for instance. It will self-ignite on gas. However, if it fails to ignite on gas, it will flash the red warning light just here, and it will also flash the flame symbol on the left hand side. When you're towing down the road, you can actually use the fridge as a cool box. But to do that, you'd need to connect to the car first, and it will only work if you have the correct connector on the back of your car. So you can press the battery symbol once you connect to the car. You do not need to have the control panel on just inside of the door, so you don't need to have that turned on just there. you just need to have the fridge turned on. At the moment, it's bleeping and flashing to let me know that there is no power source coming from a vehicle we are towing with. Microwave, very simple to use again. It's an eco microwave, so when you are connected to mains, you will need to press the eco button to get the microwave to wake up. On the hob, you have a 240 electric ring, just here, and you have your gas hob for the rest of the operation, and your gas grill and oven. The electric hob will only work if you are connected to mains power. Getting to the bathroom now. Very simple to use toilet system. Electric flush on the wall, which will run off the water system on board the caravan. You have a full indicator light just here that will illuminate red when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. And below the toilet you have a grey waste handle, which you can see just here. When you open up that grey waste handle, it'll actually allow the toilet waste into the cassette under the van. The toilet seat also turns for your convenience. However, when you are removing the cassette from underneath the van, you need to make sure that toilet seat is pointing straight across to the other side of the van, as if it is turned at all, it will actually lock the cassette in place with 2 lockout tabs. That will essentially stop you from removing the cassette, and that would be the same if the grey waste handle is open. So this is the Compass Rallye 550. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.